Você vai implorar, me pedir pra voltar. Eu vou dizer, dessa vez não vai dar. Eu fui gostar de você, dei carinho, amor pra valer. Dei tanto amor, mas você queria só prazer. Você zombou e brincou com as coisas mais sérias que eu fiz quando eu tentei com você ser feliz. Era tão forte a ilusão que prendia o meu coração. Você matou a ilusão, libertou meu coração. Hoje é você que vai ter que chorar. Você vai ver.
This Sunday, March 1st at 7 p.m., Jazz Winnipeg presents Brazilian Watercolours at the Fort Garry Hotel, featuring Marco Castillo's B-sharp trio in an evening devoted to the vibrant sounds of Brazil. Born in Rio de Janeiro, the capital of samba, Marco Castillo is a multi-instrumentalist, producer, composer, and arranger with more than 35 years of international experience. Since immigrating to Canada in 2006, Castillo has become a cornerstone of Winnipeg's music scene, collaborating with the Winnipeg Jazz Orchestra, the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra, and appearing regularly at the TD International Winnipeg Jazz Festival. Joined by pianist Dhiego Costa and drummer Paul Klassen, the B-sharp trio explores the rich interplay of melody, harmony, and rhythm that defines Brazil's diverse musical landscape. And joining me here in the Classic 107 studio to talk about his upcoming show at the Fort Garry Hotel called Brazilian Watercolours, I am joined by Marco Castillo. Hi, Marco. Great to
Hi,
have you.
Chris. How are you doing? Thank you for having me.
Before we get into the interview, what did we just hear? Who did we just heard?
We just heard a song by Tom Jobim and Vinícius de Moraes called Você Vai Ver. You Will See.
Okay, so before we get to the show, I got to ask, Carnival just wrapped up on the 21st in Rio de Janeiro after the cold, snowy winter we've had. Yes. Do you ever sort of yearn that you wish that you could take in Carnival?
Yes, I'm constantly checking. Now with the media, it's so easy to catch up, and I'm following. I'm always, looking what's going on. Carnival, it's unbelievable. It's not only during Carnival. It's people works the whole year, about the team, about what they're going to do. So the communities and everything. It's a huge work. This year was beautiful as always, and it's just I think it's a very special year because they have a lot of they honor Lula, the president, which is very popular, and it was beautiful show.
I was saying to my friend Honolulu, somebody you know quite well, that one of the things I love about Winnipeg is its Latin American music scene. It's quite vibrant. Would you say that the community has changed since you came to Winnipeg in 2006 at all? And if so, specifically like Brazilian music, has that changed?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm here for this summer, we are reaching 20 years in Winnipeg. So when I first came, I think I was the only Brazilian musician. Now we have good company. We have some good fellows out there. And then I already play with some of them. But actually, the plan is get all together playing, which is going to be good. And, it's funny. Usually when you are emerged, you barely notice changes in many aspects. But in that specific, it's good. I mean, we're getting, the Latin community is always growing. There's a lot of great talent people coming all the time. And then we rapidly identify and then you get together and play and start sharing the music and culture.
So for the gig on Sunday, you're going to be playing with keyboard player Dhiego Costa and Paul Klassen. He's going to be the drummer. How did you meet the two of them, and how did you decide to start this trio?
Well, this trio I started years ago. Will Bonas, when Dhiego came to study with him, he asked him to contact me. So he contacted me, and then we became friends, and we started playing right away. Dhiego is a very talented musician. And he introduced me Paul. I think Paul was doing university with him at the same time in classic music. And then we got together and started playing, and then the chemistry was super good. So yeah, so I'm excited to play this Sunday, this show.
Yeah, we have three great musicians. One of the things about Brazilian music that I love is the rhythms, and the rhythms can be really tricky in Brazilian music. Does it help when you're performing with people who've grown up with this kind of music like you did?
Absolutely. You know, I've been thinking about that. Interesting, your question, because when I have the idea to this specific show, I was start thinking about the composers, because a lot of people know Brazilian music by the main composers like Tom Jobim, like through the bossa nova and samba. But my father is a musician, so I grew up in that environment with a lot of music all the time. And I was fortunate enough to listen so many other composers. So I was just like start counting like composers, and I start make a list of different composers and start picking my favorite song from those composers. So my idea in this show is actually to play around 25 composers, see if I can get lucky with that. But I probably, yes, it's around 22 songs, and there's like songs that of course are co-writing with two composers. But absolutely, yeah, like it makes a difference. Like I've been playing here with a lot of people all the time, like great musicians. But it makes a difference because I think when you are born in a Latin country, the music is in your DNA, you know, especially that understanding of the upbeat, right? Like even you can even like, I mean, this has been decades ago since Tom Jobim brought the bossa nova to the world. And like the bossa nova is part of the rhythm of the jazz language, I would say, right? Yeah. So everybody plays bossa nova and samba, but the feel is different. I mean, like there's great, don't take me wrong, there's great musicians out there, but you can feel at least for me as a Brazilian musician, I feel right away like, you know, when you're playing with people from like a Latin country or not. But of course there's top great musicians out there that, you know, they're amazing. But there is a difference. I mean, like, you can't deny that.
And just feeling that natural feel. That
because you grow in that. You know, I had I'm an educator as well, and I have this Chinese kid. It was one of my students, and one day he said to me, Marco, you know that if a kid was born in China but is not living in China for the first 5 years, he will never speak correctly Chinese. And Mandarin is like, oh, I totally agree with that. So like, because the early years, right, is when you get all those connections. So in music is the same thing.
Mm-hmm. So the show on Sunday, it's not going to be just bossa nova and samba, right? You're going to really be exploring different styles of Brazilian music and different regions. Can you talk about some of the music and some of the regions that you're going to be covering?
Absolutely, yeah. Brazil, as we all know, is a huge universe of, we have this African heritage and the European and with the locals, the Indians. Like we really develop a very unique universe of music. So my idea is to explore rhythms from the northeast of Brazil, for example, like shot, frevo, forró, like baião, as well as other rhythms. For example, in Rio, was like one of the songs that I'm playing is kind of a soul music. So we have all this variety. So my idea is like to put together in one show, like different spices, different rhythms, right? To get away a little bit. I love bossa nova and samba. Of course, I'm going to play a few bossa novas and samba. Just on the samba category, there's so many different sambas. There's samba canção, samba funk, samba rock. They have like different nuances just inside the samba. I'm going to play one choro music also. It's a waltz by Pixinguinha. So it's going to be an amazing show. I'm super excited to play.
Yeah. You mentioned Carlos Jobim, and I think also of João Gilberto. Can you mention some of the other composers' music that you're going to be covering?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm playing Edu Lobo. I'm playing Gilberto Gil. There's some composers that they wrote some beautiful sambas and bossa nova, and they're not really well known out there. One is called Pingarrilho, and there's one recording I remember when I was a kid. My dad he has a lot of recordings, and there was this vocal group called Os Cariocas, and they performed this song called Astronauta. And it's a beautiful samba, and it's very different from the other composers. And then one day, recently, a student of mine came, I want to learn this samba. She's from Brazil, actually, very Italian student. And she said, I want to learn this song. And then she showed me this song called Samba Tempo. And I heard once, and then I got into playing the song, just like, wow, this is similar to this other one. So I found out that was the same composer. So this guy has like not as many songs as Tom Jobim, but it's a complete, it's more like an unknown composer.
Yeah.
So what else? I have my list here of composers that I'm playing. I'm playing Hermeto Pascoal, of course. I'm playing Zé Ramalho, is a guy from the northeast of Brazil. Aldir Blanc is another poet that wrote so many songs with different composers. So I'm playing a song that he wrote with Maurício Tapajós called Querelas do Brasil, which Elis Regina made famous back in Brazil. Edu Lobo has some partnership with Aldir Blanc as well. So there's another song that I'm playing with Edu Lobo in Capinã, Alceu Valença, Johnny Alf, Milton Nascimento, of course, Ivan Lins, Lupicínio Rodrigues, Sivuca, Cartola, Jacó do Bandolim, João Nogueira, João Donato, and the list just goes on and on.
It's a wide variety.
It is a wide variety, yeah, yes.
And you've got 3 CDs out. Are you going to be doing any of your own stuff on the show?
Yes, I'm going to play one song from the album Trip to Brazil. The song is called Here We Are. It is an instrumental song that I recorded. I actually got the music award, Canadian Western Canadian Music Award. So I recorded this with Jules Fournier and Scott Senior, and I had George Colligan as a special guest. And it's a beautiful tune. I was just like revisiting, and it's like, I'm going to play at least one tune of my own. Yeah, it's interesting because I mean, I'm a composer as well, but I feel like the standard bar for Brazilian music is very high. So I'm very meticulous on my composition. Sometimes I feel like, I'll never get there. But by the time you start getting confidence and start I think sometimes you write a song and it takes like years for you to start really liking or something. I'm a very self-conscious. Like sometimes I don't know. I think it's a typical musician thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Perfectionism.
It's gonna be, I'm just sure, a fantastic show on Sunday. What do you hope audiences are going to take away? You want them to get up and dance and just enjoy Brazilian music?
Well, interesting you ask this because I know the room is not like a kind of room that people goes to dance. Yeah. But of course, I'm putting the repertoire in a way that at least at the end, I think people will be like compelled to maybe get away of their seats and get into the floor. So there's no objection for that, of course. And I have to mention also that I have a special guest singing a couple songs by herself. My wife, Sheila Castillo.
Yeah.
She has a beautiful voice. She performed with me many times. She was playing percussion.
Percussionist as well.
Yeah, she's a great percussionist and a great singer. Her voice is just... And I'm always telling her, like, I miss her because she's not been performing with me recently. But I thought, I want you in this show. I want you to perform this particular song and this other one. And she agreed. And I'm excited because it's going to be fun.
Fantastic. Marco, this has just been great. You're welcome back anytime. All the best on Sunday. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Thanks for taking the time to stop by and talk to me today.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that.
For our Classic 107 listeners, Marco Castillo and his B-Sharp Trio performed this Sunday night at 7 p.m. at the Fort Garry Hotel. For more details, visit jazzwinnipeg.com or go to classic107.com. I've embedded a direct link to the show page in the article about the concert that you can find up there now. And Marco, you're going to play us out. What are we going to hear?
Yes, I'm going to perform for you Eu e a Brisa by Johnny Alf.
Well, let's take it away.
juventude que essa brisa canta ficasse aqui comigo mais um pouco, eu poderia esquecer a dor de ser tão só pra ser um sonho. Daí então, quem sabe alguém chegasse buscando um sonho em forma de desejo, felicidade então pra nós seria. E depois que a tarde nos trouxesse a lua, se o amor chegasse, eu não resistiria, e a madrugada acalentaria a nossa paz. Fica, ó brisa, fica, pois talvez, quem sabe, o inesperado faça uma surpresa e vem alguém que queira me escutar e junto a mim queira ficar, bem junto a mim queira ficar.